would you show us in your tradition, once you have your opponent on the ground, some of your techniques? And I should say that Master Kilton told me that in his tradition, once it's on the ground, it is no longer a sport, it becomes deadly serious.
It's not about traditional wrestling. Once you fall, that's all. You don't have long. But this is a modern into the way.
I'd like to show them what happens once you're on the ground. The wrestling is stopped. It now moves from the sport arena to a life and death struggle. He has him on the ground. Okay, very similar to the scarf hold. Now watch what happens. Okay, hold it right there. Okay, now notice that he's got his neck in a very uncomfortable position. He has effectively an arm bar here. He's got a fulcrum, he's got a force. This is a third-class lever, and if I look at this correctly, it's breaking the elbow and perhaps dislocating the shoulder. Carry on. Could you show us the one where you... Would you mind? Thank you. I apologize. This is really cool. Okay. And these are really cool because he positions his opponent in such a fashion that if the opponent moves, he hurts himself. Here, now the guy on the ground has his leg trapped so that if he tries to move his leg, Kilton's hand is into the soft space where the clavicle bone moves. He's got two hands on here, so effectively the person on the bottom is using his own leg to take his rib cage apart. Now, how deep are your fingers?
It's about inch and a half.
Inch and a half. How deep does this feel?
Oh, at least that much.
Okay, so this, as you can see, not only does he put his shoulders to the ground, but he actually starts taking the person apart. You want to show us one more? Okay. Or do you want to show us one more? This is so cool. Okay, not only is he... Oh, yeah, good. Okay, he's got the same thing going on here with the clavicle, and he's also got an elbow... Well, it's not exactly an elbow break, it's more like a dislocation of the shoulder. Now it's an elbow break. This is what we know, what we call a chicken wing. Okay, this is, you move the arm the way it doesn't go, and this is how you get buffalo wings at KFC. Okay, yeah, and that's a little... okay. Yes. We may have chicken wings right here. Okay, beautiful. Let's give these guys a big hand. Oh, one more. Remember, this is now in the arena. Okay, hold that right there. Chris and Steve. Let's see E-point into armbar. Okay, just hold it right there. Indian technique. Okay, Japanese equivalent. Both of them are attacking the elbow. Both of them have pressure on the neck. With minimal effort because of the leverage, breaking the elbow is not a problem. Okay, and the person on the bottom is at a strong disadvantage because, and he's slapping his posterior to say that he's won. Oh, he's slapping his posterior to remind the guy that his elbow is in jeopardy. Okay, thank you, gentlemen. I want to point out something else that I noticed, which is kind of cool. It's hard to see here, but let me just outline this piece of cloth here. It goes like in a T shape here, then it goes all the way under the body to the front. This is very, and you hold on to this. It's like almost like a thick rope. Okay, it's about that thick. In the Korean tradition of sirim, you have a similar piece of cloth around the middle, but then you hold down here. So it looks something like this. So you would hold your opponent like this, and he would hold right here. Right here. And notice how the center of gravity is automatically much lower. Okay, so it's interesting to me as a Korean American that the Indian tradition has this, and way over in Korea, half a continent away, we have a similar sort of apparatus for wrestling, but I gotta tell you, our toes are nowhere near as strong as yours. It's fascinating to me that each culture has its own interpretation of wrestling, that the techniques are very similar. A lot of them rely on the opponent's momentum, weight. Some of them rely on strength more, some less. In some cultures, like we've seen in the Judo, Japanese, and the Indian tradition, there are applications once you're on the ground, but in the Mongolian and Chinese tradition, they're not. Interestingly, too, kind of as a corollary, I've talked to martial artists and they say, ours is a complete system. And they say, well, we do this, this, and this. And I say, well, do you have any mat work? And they say, no, once the person's on the ground, it's done. But then I say, well, but what happens if you go to the mat? And they say, well, we don't have anything, but we're a complete system. So, something like Gracie Jiu-Jitsu has grown up because a lot of the fights do go to the mat and turn into wrestling. Throws you like this, you have to do an air fall. Or you can do an air fall to yourself. Feel like the barrier rolls? Okay, so barrier rolls are things we do to practice.
I know.
Yes, sir. Distance.
A lot of that team.
Barrier rolls are things we practice in case we're thrown far. Or in case we're thrown from a high. You want to warm up? What's that good? So, those are some of the falls and rolls that we do. The purpose of rolling is to dissipate momentum. Unlike gymnastic rolls where you roll from your head along your spine, in judo rolls or jiu-jitsu rolls, you roll from one shoulder to the opposite buttocks so that you minimize the opportunity for damage to your spine. You also dissipate the momentum by making yourself a ball and kind of dragging yourself along the mat. Any other questions?
I have one.
Yes, sir.
In a grappling match, is it worse to be on your back or is it worse to be like on top of the person with him?
Is it worse to be in a grappling match? Good question. In a grappling match, is it worse to be on top or on the bottom? I think the answer is depends who you're grappling. Okay. Let's say, for example, he has me in a scarf hold. He has me on my back, okay? But if this is jiu-jitsu, okay? But if it's judo, I may have a problem because I can't do those sorts of things. But the principle in general is the guy on top wants to keep his center of gravity very low, his legs spread, and his spine perpendicular to mine. If I can move my spine close to his, I might be able to roll him over and then attack. And then again, in jiu-jitsu or Hankido, the objective changes from simply pinning him to actually damaging him. So I might do something like this, break an elbow, or I might roll up on him to suffocate him with his own uniform. I gotta tell you though, having played with Chris a couple days ago, I would lose in a very big way. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're running out of time here. I thank you for joining us.